Welcome, guys, to the Jewelry Insider podcast. So, this is our first podcast. I'm Osama Zed from Zed Jewels.
And I am Sana Zed.
And basically, what we did was we wanted to start a podcast about a little bit more candid, something that's more open. And we wanted to talk about jewelry, the jewelry industry, maybe some trade secrets, maybe something about fashion, design, things that we can't talk about on social media. So, we thought we'd jump on a podcast.
I think we're going to make it a fun chit chat, give you some insider information, stuff that, most jewelers won't be talking about, stuff like that. I think we're going to make it really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And if we can get other people on this podcast, then that would be great as well. And I know you guys are waiting for that giveaway. So that giveaway, it's been insane.
I know.
20,000 comments on Instagram,
Easy.
hundreds of thousands of views on different platforms.
I mean, why not? It's
intense.
such a beautiful diamond and ring that we're giving away. It's a 5-carat oval.
Yeah, so $7,000 with the gold and everything said and done. So it's quite.
I mean, I personally wanted that for myself, but
no.
we decided to give it to one really lucky lady out there. Let's see who
Well, it
wins
didn't have
that
to be a lady.
giveaway.
A lady would maybe wear it, but I mean, a guy could wear it too.
Actually, yeah, a guy could make a ring out of it too.
Yeah, maybe
That's
once
true.
again with someone. So it was gonna be for anyone that wants.
So basically, we're going to use a generator to pick out 10 names, and then we're going to put them on chits and put them in a box and do it the old school way where we just shake that up and pick out a name.
100%. I think that's going to be super exciting. But before we get into that, we'll do that a little bit later on. We're going to try to make this podcast, very informative, quick and sweet, and, stick around and hopefully you guys follow us and subscribe and support our little channel here where we get to communicate.
Yep.
So, yeah, Sana.
So first up, I wanted to kind of mention how Osama, I've literally been, obviously, I'm your wife. I've been watching your journey into jewelry, and it's really cool and interesting to see from where you started and where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
And especially looking at how specifically the lab diamond industry has come so far as well. I would say you were probably the first jeweler in Toronto to really market lab diamonds and really kind of give it that, all that media attention, all the marketing that you did online with the TikToks, the Instagram videos and stuff like that, the lab versus mind. I feel like those videos.
Those are the more recent ones, yeah, for sure.
Lab versus mind. Which were your first couple of videos?
I think the first ones, well, let's take it back. When lab diamonds were coming out a little while ago, that's probably at least 4 years ago, COVID times, that sort of thing, maybe just prior to that actually as well. There was a huge debate on what's happening with the lab diamonds versus mine or natural, and it was tough. It was a tough decision for me to be sort of one of the first people here at least in our area to talk about it, because all the olden day jewelers, and what I mean by olden day jewelers, you'll find jewelers that are 5 generations in. So father, son, father, mother, daughter, whatever, generational. And, they have a set mind on natural mind versus, what they thought was basically synthetic or completely something like a cubic. When I started to look into it, because I have a background in science, biology and nutrition, and, I studied chemistry and physics and all that. So I'm like, let's take it back to what science has to say about it. So I started to read articles, the research, looking at the chemical structure. And when there was so much nonsense, because, there's two sides fighting each other, who's right? The science obviously is going to win in this. And I found out that, the chemical, optical, physical properties were exactly the same. And the cost was at that time, I think around 50% because the technology didn't progress. And so
not a lot of people were also creating lab diamonds.
Yeah. So
fewer,
100%.
I guess, people making them.
Manufacturing it, issues with technology, expensive technology, but
supply was less, so obviously the price was.
Yeah, and then on top of that, people were still getting 50% off of what they, or maybe 70% off even right off the rip. And so I decided to start talking about it, not knowing okay, what's going to be the outcome, because I built my entire business over natural diamonds, right? Mine
Yeah.
diamonds, right? And that was at least the first half of our journey, 4 or 5 years, and now we're in about 10 years or so, or just
And so
under.
you're a first generational jeweler. Some people might not know that, might think you got it from your dad or, passed down family, but you basically started this all by yourself. Like you're the first person in your family to start this business, really.
Well, I would say, honey, there's a lot of people, including you. And yeah, my last name is obviously taken from my father. I named the company after my dad. So different people have played many different roles. But in the traditional sense, I have not been handed, a jewelry store or knowledge about jewelry because my parents are not into jewelry at all. We don't have
Mm,
any ties with jewelry. And to get into that was quite difficult. The manufacturing part, to understand, like, would people even trust us? Like, I remember the early days, it was like, I used to sit on the tables, grinding, polishing, fixing up jewelry. And I was like, let me show people I can do this, and hopefully they'll trust me to make their jewelry. And even with all, like, at that time we didn't have a large following. It
mm,
was quite tough,
yeah.
right? But one client at a time, we made it happen. And you probably remember the first year, I think I only made one engagement ring sale. It was so bad that, like, I could not even afford to think about getting an office. And you remember I used to
Yeah.
go around in different coffee shops.
Just to actually not even really sell engagement rings. You
Right.
started
I
off
saw
with
name
name
necklaces.
name necklaces
Yeah, yeah,
and then name rings,
yeah.
and then it was engagement rings.
Yeah, and you know why? Because I just didn't think I could sell diamonds. Right, so I started with silver chains.
Yeah,
Liva really helped my sister. She was on online social media promoting this, right? And so Sana was there as well. And so, I was making pocket change. I must have been like 23, 24, fresh out of school, university.
yeah,
And, I kept going to different products, different rings, different things that we would suggest because I didn't think that we would be selling gold and diamonds at that time. I was doing silver mostly.
yeah.
And I just didn't think people would trust us. And it was like kind of nerve wracking.
You also didn't, as a first like jeweler in your family, really, what happens is that you're not passed down a lot of products.
Products, money, everything. Like I'll be honest with you, like jewelers when they're generational, like
You
to be passed down a few $1 million just like that, like
and
here you
the
go,
stock,
stock in millions, like it's
stuff that you
normal.
have to show to sell.
Yeah,
So you didn't really have any of that, but
no.
you still made a name for yourself, and you still made money in this market. And I feel like there might be people here watching this podcast or listening to this podcast and getting inspired, knowing that they can enter this industry, and be a jeweler. Really, it is tough, obviously,
It is tough.
but it is possible. You're an example of it.
100%. Yeah, like I mean, what we've done in the last like just under 10 years would have taken in the traditional sense about 20 to 30 years.
Hmm.
And it's been a great effort across, like, the people around me, good teams, building from the manufacturers, diamond setters, the polishers, the
Yeah,
in-office staff. There's been a whole bunch of people involved into making this happen. But it's definitely possible because at one point I was just a one-man team doing it myself. And
yeah,
now we're over 8 individuals at the company, from manufacturing side to the marketing side to, the sales side. There's a whole different component to it. And if you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have been like, you're absolutely crazy. Because for me to sell no rings, no diamonds in the first year, to be at this point, we've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of rings.
yeah.
It is absolutely incredible. I remember the first time when someone wired me like 20,000 from the US to make a ring for them. And I was like, wow, like you would trust
And
me to, like,
yeah,
yeah, for me it was shocking,
it's also a very, like, it's a field where trust is like number one. And that's where honestly I feel like most people like choose their jewelers like based on
Yeah,
trust, and like, okay, is this person in front of me being authentic and being telling me the truth about the product that I'm about to buy, because it
100%.
is such an expensive item,
Yeah,
it's gold, and you hope that it's real gold because you are not able to test it yourself, so I really have to trust your word on
sure.
it, and maybe the certificate that you give me that it's what
Yeah.
you say it is,
Mhm.
and then maybe take it to two other jewelers on the side and
Double check it. Yeah.
get it double checked and be like, is this gold? Okay, am I good? But anyways, we started at Lab Diamonds, and my question to you was, you've been through this entire journey. You were the first to start in Toronto, like really pushing Lab Diamonds
I
because
probably
you
say one of
personally
the first.
um, and now lab diamonds we're seeing are like literally taking over the world. We're
100%.
hearing Dubai, like people buying lab diamonds in Dubai, millionaires buying lab diamonds in Dubai. And this is not just for people who want a cheaper option anymore. This is for people who are buying jewelry in bulk because they can, and they're just like, okay, I can buy even more if I get it in lab diamonds versus,
Yeah.
like that spending all that amount in just couple of sets. They're buying tons of
Yeah.
sets. Like that's a millionaire attitude kind
Mhm.
of situation. But now we're also seeing it in places like India where, like we really prize our mined diamonds
Yeah.
and we prize our gemstones and
Mhm.
we have this
Big
connection.
history there.
We have this connection to natural diamonds, and now we're seeing these little stores popping up of lab diamonds over there.
A little huge.
Huge,
Huge
right
operations.
beside
Yeah.
jewelers who've been selling like mined diamonds and like gemstones, and like these are traditional jewelers who've
Yeah.
been there, pass this on from their family, generational jewelers. Right beside them come these crazy companies who are popping up, and they're like coming and taking over the industry, really, and kind of creating a space in the market for themselves with these lab diamonds. And what I had to ask you is, like, as a jeweler, tell us the truth. Like, what do you think? Do you think lab diamonds are like a trend, and people are going to get over this craze, and eventually mine diamonds will come back, and people will really just treat lab diamonds as Mosenites or like cubics, Swarovski in a couple of years, or you think lab diamonds are here to stay and that it's going to become a real part of the future and really kind of maybe even take over the mine diamond industry?
Yeah, I think it's a very intense question because, but I've studied this for years now because it's
It's your
part of
job.
my job as a CEO and founder of a custom
Yeah.
jewelry company. I not debate this, like figure this every day, like where the market is going. No one is 100% clear on it, but I can make my educated guess on it and where I think it'll go. First things first, diamonds are not an investment. Okay. So I'm sorry, all those jewelers out there, the Indian jewelers you might be talking about or the local jewelers, it's not about all jewelers are similar. The old mindset has been resale value on mined or natural diamonds. And it's unfortunate because it's been a lie.
Right.
So that's number one. That hurts a lot.
But
The reason why is like you should know and understand what you're buying, right? Now,
yeah, a lot of regular people who walk into our store are often like, my parents want me to buy a natural diamond
yeah,
because they want me to have
some sort
something,
of
some kind of thing when I will go to sell it, I should get some money back. Versus a lab diamond, I'm not gonna get anything back, and it's so cheap already. What am I gonna really get in my pocket tomorrow?
a little bit more specific. Yeah, break up.
Let's say I want to change it up and I want to give this ring out, sell it, and then get a new one. I'm barely gonna get any money. So like that's the mentality that
And
people have, right?
and that's fair, right? I
Mm-hmm.
can understand that. Like if you're spending $4, $5, $10,000, maybe, but you're gonna lose anyway, like probably anywhere 40, 50% right off the rip. You buy a $10,000 diamond, it's I welcome any jeweler, by the way, that's listening to this. No problem. Come all day, and I will try to sell your diamonds. I don't know what kind of prices you're gonna give me. The thing is, the resale value isn't really there. So
Because we're buying it, customers are buying it not at wholesale price, but they're buying it at a marked up price that the jeweler is selling them.
not only
Or
that, not only
or
that.
is there
I'm telling you that me as a jeweler selling it to another wholesaler, I will lose money.
So not even a jeweler can make money on diamonds as an investment.
Well, I no, that's not true because we sell jewelry and jewelry will always have a profit for me, right? Honestly, that's how the business runs, right? I need to make something. So the jeweler will always make money. What I'm saying is that when you go to sell it to a jeweler, the jeweler has to go sell it to a wholesaler. The wholesaler is gonna so that's why the pricing for the client gets, not only does it go below obviously the margin, like that they paid for it, the customers pay, but the jeweler needs to buy it below their cost. Now you'd be like, okay, well, why would the jeweler need to buy it below their cost? One, it's going to sit around for a long time. A particular client looking for a particular stone with a particular quality requirement. Okay. On top of that, like if it's just sitting there, we don't know. And especially in a market when natural diamonds, mine diamonds aren't moving as well, for sure, that's like a hard sell. So they have to buy it even at a deeper discount. And that's one of the reasons why it won't. Certain diamonds will. Now, if you're buying over 2 carat, that's 25,000 plus. Good, high quality stone. You'll do decent there. If you buy at the right price or with the right
What's
jeweler,
high quality?
I would say minimum VS grade, like, on the colorless side, you want to be DEF, right? But now you're pushing 25, 30,000 for that stone.
So you have to spend
Yeah.
25, 30,000
For you
diamond.
for you to still lose money, but to hold
So let's
to
say
get the
I
stock
bought it for 30,000 and I want to sell it back,
at
right?
2 carat,
Yeah.
right?
How much would I get?
I mean, you're gonna lose at least 5, 6,000, right? 30K, so you're gonna lose 5,
And if
6K.
I was to buy a 2 carat lab, how much would I get? Just me.
Well, it would cost you about 2,000. Super high grade VVS2E, right? Higher grade than the mine natural diamond. But now here's what you have to assume. Let's assume that 2 carat is zero, which is not, right? But let's say you lost $2,000 versus 5 to 6,000.
That I'm losing on my mind diamond.
Right. And so now jumping backwards a little bit, when you said the girls would want, like, this is more of I can speak to my own community,
Cultural.
a South Asian community, and it probably relates to a lot of other communities as well, where when a marriage happens, the guy is gifting the girl something of value per se in case of a divorce or a breakup, that the girl can take that back. Here's what I would tell my daughters, our daughters, and I don't know if you agree with this or
Yeah,
not.
so would you tell our daughter's future husband, and by the way, our daughters are like babies right now,
Yeah,
so the fact that we're discussing
5
this
and
is so
2.
funny.
Yeah.
They're 5 and 2, for just fun sakes. Would you tell them to go buy lab or would you tell them to buy natural?
I would ask them first question, all right? Like if they know about it, right? Like some people are like upfront, like the guy might be like
Mm-hmm.
5 or 10,000. Why do I feel like I'm already getting upset about it? I already feel like I don't like this guy that I just created. But anyways, like in my head, I'm getting a little like irritated. But anyways, let's say this individual, right? Hey, daddy, like, or Baba, right? There's a budget of $10,000,
Yeah.
right? And what do you think I should do? Like, I have the choice of going and buying a lab diamond, or I could spend that 10,000 on a mine diamond. Like, this is exactly what you're gonna do if you're gonna be sensible about it. You want what? Do you want a 2 carat, 3 carat? Let's say she says 3 carat. Okay, I'm like, perfect. 3 carat, it's gonna cost you maybe $3,000 to $5,000 for that lab diamond ring. Get what you want, get something beautiful that really embodies that symbolic moment, right? And you're gonna love it. Because if you get a 3 carat in a mine diamond, that 10K budget is way too low. You need to have a 30, 40, $50,000 budget starting.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so that's out of the equation. You want a 3 carat? Not happening, right?
but if she had a $30,000-$50,000 budget,
Mm-hmm.
then would you recommend her getting a 3 carat mine?
It's possible. Yeah, like you're asking pretty hard questions right now, which I'm not prepared for. But ultimately, yeah,
She'd be like, Daddy, we have a 30, 50K K budget,
Mhm.
and I want a 3 carat. Should I get a mine or a lab?
That's 15, 20 years from now, it's hard for me, like, no, more than 20 years from now, it's hard for me to predict. But let's just
But in
assume
this
market,
this
if
market.
you're at a 3 carat, a high quality stone, or a 2.5 carat, I would even push it, even a 2 carat, VVS, DE kind of situation, GI certified, it's going to be very expensive. It might max out that budget surprisingly. Like, I mean, we sold, I remember, a 2.5 carat VVS1 E-color or something like that, and that was $67,000. But that stone right now is still trading on the wholesale at a high price.
But will it be worth more in a couple of years? Like,
It's
as
hard
it
to
an
say.
investment, or is she better off buying a 3 carat for, like you said, like whatever,
Me personally,
$3,000,
yeah,
and then investing the rest of her budget, which would be, let's say, 45,000 remaining if she uses 5,000,
yeah.
into gold
You know, I,
and
I was I
jewelry.
was trying to make a little bit of a case
Yeah,
for mined and natural diamonds. A little bit. You got to give
yeah.
it benefit of the doubt. If you personally ask me, I would straight up say, listen, go lab, and then the rest of the okay. So, Baba, what am I going to do with the rest of the like? What? I don't know, honey. Like, buy gold with it, right?
Yeah.
Get bangles, get necklaces, get. I don't care. Like, you can have that conversation. You know why? 'Cause
And
gold.
gemstones, I
Well, you
realized, go up in price a lot.
depends. That's also tricky. That's also a little bit of a myth. It depends on what type of stone.
Yeah,
Um,
not any
not
gemstone,
any
but like
gemstone.
specific gemstones like pigeon blood
Yeah,
rubies,
pigeon blood
stuff like
rubies.
that. You can get a
Well,
carat
oh,
for
that would be great.
twenty
Yeah,
thousand.
that would be great.
That would be an amazing ring.
To be honest, a lot of jewelry has to do with an emotional feeling.
Yep,
Something that's
exactly,
beautiful, something you want to enjoy and wear.
exactly.
Summing it up with our daughters, I would tell them go lab, spend the rest of the money on gold, and yeah, if or you can go super high quality on a gemstone, but ideally the best
Investment
investment.
for money would be the gold
Yeah,
and
if
then
you're
the
looking
lab
at an
diamond.
investment, I don't think you should be considering diamonds. Diamonds are things that you buy because you can. You can go ahead and spend 2,000 or $1 million. Why does that one person want to spend 1 million? Because they
Because they
can.
can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't. They maybe don't. And those stones, obviously, they hold their value.
They're not for people who are looking to buy things as a security or as an
It's not.
investment.
This is not the S&P 500. This is not like
Gold is security. Gold has been security for
for
generations,
thousands
and
of
I feel like
years.
it will continue to be a very secure asset.
Yeah,
Um,
something that's tangible.
exactly.
It
But
fights inflation.
I've realized people almost equalize gold with diamonds as the same amount of security, and I feel like that is completely wrong.
I think it's just yeah. I think it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
With gold, at least the last 10 years that we've been in business, it's gone up about 300%.
yeah.
So I remember gold being around 43,000 a kilo. Today it sits at around 180,000, roughly around there.
And what do you think 1 carat and mine diamond was when you started, and what it sits around now?
I think it's dropped by 40%. And I think
Wow.
it's great that natural diamonds, mine diamonds are dropping in price because like it allows someone to buy it that wants to
Mhm.
buy it. Look, there is beauty in something that's coming from the ground and is like entirely sort of unique because every diamond can be because of like the formation, the
People
temperature.
still think natural mine diamonds look different than lab diamonds. Like,
100% wrong.
they think they can tell them apart
No.
and be like, okay, that is a lab diamond and that's a mine diamond. Can you tell them apart?
The only time you can tell a natural, like you can recognize a natural diamond when you have the worst, shittiest quality diamond. You know why? Because you can see the big black marks and sort of
Inclusions, and they don't
inclusion.
make the
Yeah,
lab diamonds
but
that bad.
when you get up, yeah, when you get up to like VS grade, like I mean, for me, you lay out 10 stones.
Such a funny
I'm kind
thing.
of picking without knowing.
This
Yeah.
reminds me of a video I was watching on Instagram, and the girl was like, you know what? You should get a yellow mine diamond now, like a yellower looking mine diamond,
Mhm.
because then they'll know that it's not a lab diamond.
Yeah, yeah.
And that it's a natural diamond. But look at the extent of what people are going to. Now they're recommending don't go for a flawless VVS natural
Yeah.
diamond because that's going to look like lab.
Lab
So
diamond.
instead, go for a very yellower quality mine diamond and go for the inclusions because that will make your ring actually look natural.
I think the smart individual is going to do this, which I would do. I love jewelry, right? And you do too. Make what you want, go heavy on the gold, use lab diamonds, go ahead and buy a brick of gold, right? Because when you go to sell them, you're not going to get what you're looking for, right? And that's the whole thing. So my personal thing is that, and we've had this debate often. But you're like,
Sama go at this all the time, you guys.
but I think
I ask them all the questions that I feel like you guys would ask a person, like a person who's not in the industry, has all these questions because
so have I
we don't know any better.
have I
100%. I know for a fact.
you have like natural diamonds, natural gemstones.
I have everything. I have natural diamonds, I have lab diamonds, I have like gemstones and everything. I personally would find it such a waste of money to buy a natural
who?
diamond just because the only reason for me what stops me is that if it looks and is literally made of the same thing, like literally the same ingredients. Like the best description was that basically a baby
Maybe
is a
ice?
baby
Yeah.
born versus like one born in a mother's womb and one born in a test tube baby. So like
Yeah.
they both are exactly the same because it's still a baby.
Yeah, you
And
want to say like, hey, you're a fake baby.
Exactly. Before that though, I did not understand how it could be the same thing.
Let me ask you.
When one is made in earth and one is made in a lab, like, are you sure it looks exactly the same? But now I get it because the science proves that it is exactly the same. So who am I to like really?
The thing is, let me ask you this. You probably heard this too. Ice in a fridge versus cubicles I went to the glacier and I brought. And if I just put it to you like that, well, you'll be like, well, ice is ice.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's made
Because why? Because it's water, same material.
Exactly.
Same kind of cooking environment. If you're cooking in the same.
This glacier might have some extra minerals over time, it might have.
That's why they charge a premium for it, right?
The glacier water might be a little more cleaner than the water you might have gotten from our fridge, or maybe not cleaner.
Here's the thing. The reason why I'm making such a strong case for lab diamonds is because there's a big connotation, like a derogatory sort of feeling that's still a little bit there. Like, I think it's gotten better when people.
Derogatory comes more from like the people who own natural diamonds, and they're like, well, it's expensive and you can't afford them. So yeah, you go ahead and buy the cheaper ones because that's all you can afford. But I'm wearing a mine diamond.
Sure. That's a valid point. Listen, like when a client can spend 50, 100, 200K,
it's supposed to be it is a flex.
The diamonds are a flex, and that's why I always say this: where you buy diamonds because you can.
Yeah.
You don't care.
But then the problem here is if I'm driving a car that looks exactly like a Lambo.
Yeah.
And you're driving a car that looks exactly like a Lambo. And you're trying to flex on me. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work because everyone's walking around with these heavy, big stones.
It looks exactly the same unless you ask me, hey, is your Lambo from Lamborghini or is it made in China? But if it looks exactly the same, then who are we flexing on? Because it's not going to work anymore.
Other jeweler, we won't name him, but we was telling a story about his client, his older client that has like a very expensive stone, like maybe 300,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they have a group of friends, they meet up, and the friends don't do as well, So when they meet up, and she notices that everyone has like a beautiful, like top grade, like 3, 4 carat, 5 carat, right? And so she goes to a mutual jeweler friend and says, like, listen, like I spent like $300,000 on this. I'm not buying mine or natural because everyone also has it. How are you gonna differentiate? Like, hey, no, mine's real. Like, is someone gonna stand there and stand?
That's also not appropriate. Ask people, hey, like, what kind of diamond is that? Is that mine or lab?
I just want to ask them, like, how much money do you have in your bank account?
Unless it's your bestie and you're like, girl, like, hook me up, like, tell me, what it is or whatever. But like, it's somebody's personal choice, and I mean, for the person who's comfortable sharing it, like, why not? Like, share it. It's up to them, but like asking, like, how much did you pay for these earrings and how much did you pay for this necklace?
Or is it lab or is it natural?
How much did you pay for your
Like,
car? That's a nice car. Like, it's just weird. But anyways, we're 30 minutes into this podcast, 100%. I believe, and I think everybody is waiting.
We got caught off track and we actually kind of winging this as we go.
So,
and we'll try to do a little bit better next time.
Let's pick the giveaway winner because I know everybody is waiting for this.
Okay, so these were the randomized sort of 10 selection. We thought like it'd be cool and interactive to do this. So honestly, like, why am I nervous? because I feel like there's so many people, and it's gonna be like
How many people? How many comments were there under
there were
that video?
thousands.
Let me just.
20,
I need to go.
I think
see.
like thousands on TikTok too. I think like 25,000 plus like the stories. Like
Yeah, we had 21.2 thousand comments on just
this
the
is it.
Instagram video.
This is it, guys. Let's do this. All right, Sana.
Alrighty. Ready? I am so excited for whoever is getting this gorgeous 5-carat oval. I hope he or she is super happy with it. And
No, and then I have to say this because I don't know why I feel nervous. I'm like, we're definitely gonna do more of these.
we're going to try to do this once a month. That's our goal. Don't hold us to it.
Listen,
I've been convinced.
I didn't.
Trying to convince us.
Listen, I don't know.
So giving away free jewelry for you guys. So you guys just,
I will consider it, but like, if you guys want another one, then definitely let us know. And we're definitely gonna try to do these. So let's do this. Come on.
That pick? Okay. So the Instagram name is at, I don't know if it's Instagram or TikTok actually because it doesn't say, but the at name is at 86 BRIE, Brie.
86 BRIE. Congratulations. Hopefully we can get in touch with you. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe
We have
do an announcement.
screenshots of the 10 people. Let me just find
We had our team sort of
her.
figure all this out for us.
Okay. I believe this is TikTok screenshots. So this is her, 86 Brie. Her name is Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Flag, so she is Toronto. And apparently she's a medic. It says medic here. So I don't know if she's a medic though because it just says on her profile. But
bio.
But yeah. Okay, so reach out to us. We're so excited for you and can't wait to hear from you. So we're gonna message you.
Yeah, if you haven't heard like this podcast, hopefully you have. If you haven't, we're also gonna reach out to our official channels. And by the way, guys, there's been scammers out there creating fake accounts on TikTok, Instagram, trying to get your information. We only have one TikTok, one Instagram. We have one YouTube channel. If you're confused, you can reach out to us by Googling us or, sending an email or whatnot. Use the official channels. Do not give anyone information. And so be safe out there. But yeah, super excited for this person.
Whoever didn't win, I know you guys are sad, but don't worry, we're doing giveaways every month. And so you will win one eventually. May the odds forever be in your favor. And to that, we shall end this podcast. We'll see you in our next one.